Hi, and welcome to the Well Worth It channel, where you'll be saying that was well worth it after listening to my show. So today I'll be talking about WWE and wrestling pretty much just in general, but mostly WWE. So War Games just got over and it was pretty shitty, let's face it. Triple H really has no idea what he's doing. He's a shitty booker. That's sad to say too, because I've been watching WWE since I was a little boy. For 39 years I've been watching this show, and I used to watch it with my father. He had a black box. We used to watch it on HBO, and I was a little kid watching Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, The Undertaker, and then the Attitude Era came, and I started getting older, but I kept watching it. And, I love this stuff. We love this stuff. It's not just me. You guys love it too. That's why you guys watch this stuff. And, Triple H was actually one of my favorite characters. I even liked him all the way back as terrorizing, as stupid as that sounds. I really do. Jean-Paul Levesque in WCW, but he ended up kicking Test out of that storyline with Stephanie, and he brown-nosed his way to the top. Ultimate kiss ass, yeah. I've never in my life seen a more successful brown-noser than Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque. Yeah, for sure. But it's unfortunate what he's done to WWE, because it's all nepotism, Anybody who's even featured at all is either 35 or over, or a Triple H kiss ass, I mean, come on. Maxine Dupree is the Intercontinental Champion. The Women's Intercontinental Champion. That's ridiculous. Like, she can't even wrestle. Yes, she's getting better, but isn't that what NXT's for? I don't get it. Why is she getting main roster time to learn how to wrestle? She should be a manager or a valet or something like that. She should not be the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Not at all. And nowadays there's way too many ads. Vince would have never let all those ads all over the mat, the Slim Jim tables, all that. Too many commercials. People won't stick around, I try to watch the show, and I'm sleeping 20 minutes in. It's ridiculous, and I'd like to take a minute and talk about John Cena, his final year and his farewell tour. First of all, the heel turn. I was a big fan. I really was. Not of the Travis Scott shit, but I do like Cena, and I've always liked heels. I don't know why, but I've been a fan of the heels instead of the faces. So seeing Cena as a heel would have been pretty cool. Would have been interesting, different, But unfortunately, that was taken away. Triple H doesn't know how to book Cena, or he's just trying to make him look stupid, one of the two. And he ended up getting the Intercontinental Championship and finally becoming a Grand Slam champion. Now, that was an amazing moment. But then we had the tournament to see who Cena's final opponent would be. And we saw people like Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler. Now, as cool as that was, if the whole tournament was just going to be people that were going to lose in one-offs. Why don't we get people like RVD in there, Jeff Hardy, you know, some people like that, or even Joe Hendry, some people that would benefit, or some people that have some old, deep history with John Cena, you know? What about Wade Barrett? I'm sure he's cleared to wrestle. He's been talking about wrestling Drew McIntyre. Why didn't you get in there with Cena? Or at least try? And Gunther being his last opponent doesn't really make sense. Gunther doesn't need a rub. He doesn't. He's already been a world champion, an intercontinental champion. Fans already like him. He's already over. It does him no good. I don't really get it. Now, Solo, they're trying to do over, you know? They're trying to actually make him look dangerous. But I don't think he's going to win the tournament. I like Solo. I like what they're doing with him and the MFTs. But I don't think he's going to win the tournament. Who else is in this thing? We got LA Knight. Yeah. LA Knight's awesome, but we all know that Triple H isn't going to push him. He's in the doghouse, so to speak. And Jey Uso. We know the final will be Jey Uso and Gunther. And Jey Uso is just another nepotism pick who's nothing but a liability drunk who will probably drop one of those babies one day when he's doing his entrance. He cheats on his wife and gets drunk, and he gets rewarded because he says yeet. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you have people like Karrion Kross and Baron Corbin who aren't even re-signing because you guys are playing with their contracts. You know? Kross was seriously getting over, and you guys didn't want him. You'd rather have Aleister Black doing Kross's stuff on the main event, which is another ridiculous thing if you ask me. It's just crazy, you know? But it was cool to see Liv Morgan come back. I knew she'd be back soon. I do think that she'll be winning the Women's Royal Rumble and taking the Women's Heavyweight Championship off of Stephanie V. I do think that's going to happen. Now, who's going to take Jade's belt? Who other than Bianca Belair? Yeah, I know they love Charlotte and they want to push her, but I don't think the time's right for that. Now, on the men's side of things, the Men's World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk. I think Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble, and I think he's going to choose CM Punk and take that belt off of him. And that's pretty sad because Roman's lost his aura. The audience loves him, but when I see him on TV, he looks smaller and just, I don't know, just this baby face stuff just doesn't really work. I don't know. He doesn't really work as a baby face. And who's the other one? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Yeah, who's gonna face Cody? Probably Braun Breaker. Yeah, they want Braun up there. Braun's gonna end up taking him. Now, I do think Triple H's original pick to win the Royal Rumble is Sami Zayn, but I think they had to pull the plug on that. Now, who do I think the mid card scene's sad. It's really, really sad. There's no stories in this stuff, you know? It's just matches and shitty promos. If they could get back to storytelling, it would actually be good again. People would probably fall in love with pro wrestling again. Now, the men's Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio just beat John Cena. I think Chad Gable's going to come back from injury and eventually get his first championship on the main roster, first singles championship on the main roster by defeating Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, talking about mid-card belts, the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Maxine Dupree. I don't even like talking about this. It's sad. But I do think Becky's going to win it back and eventually lose that to AJ Lee. I do think that's the plan there. The Men's United States Championship, Ilya Dragunov. I think he's going to lose that belt to none other than Santos Escobar. Because I believe that because all this talk online about Santos's contract, his negotiations, he was done. He was released. But then they decided on a new contract and now he's coming back. And he doesn't want to come back and just have crap booking. So I don't think he wants the AAA Mega Championship. I think he wants a main roster championship. And I think this is going to be that. Now, the Women's United States Championship. Chelsea Green. Good old Chelsea Green. I don't think she should ever lose that belt. Her and Ethan Page are doing awesome with the AAA mixed tag team belts and that whole thing. That's awesome. But, I don't know. I really don't know who she's going to lose that belt to. Maybe Michin. I don't know. Michin, BFAB. They really don't have a women's mid-card. They need to have a draft. Not that they respect that anyways, but they do. They do. So, you guys already got who I think is going to win the Royal Rumbles. Liv Morgan, Roman Reigns. I don't know about Elimination Chamber or any of that yet, but that is what I think about WWE today. I think they made a lot of massive mistakes with their releases with Karrion Kross, Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, Dijak, many others, a lot of the women too, Shotzi, Priscilla Kelly, all of them, you know, they're, I don't know if you guys have seen any MLW, but I suggest checking it out. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. MLW is good. I don't watch a whole lot of AEW, but WWE is losing the 18-49 demo, and I think AEW is more of a product for the 18-49. I do watch it, just not on a consistent basis. I follow wrestling and I follow wrestlers, so I follow their careers. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a sportsman. I'm nobody. I'm just a fan of wrestling in general. And my name's Leo, and I hope you liked my show. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll see you back here for more. It was well worth it.